to look better.
I mean, as Eng said, like, these guys are still probably one of the best teams in the world.
Yes.
We haven't got to see that because they failed at the playoffs against Heretics. They didn't make it into Shanghai, but earlier this week also didn't look that great. But they are in a position where they can turn these things around.
Well, let's see if the all that hope can go somewhere, because FUT and no slouches again made it to Shanghai, looked solid. And already into this one, NAVI on the attack, and Artis very isolated. Fortunately, the rest of NAVI appear through the smoke and they overwhelm. Very well done by NAVI to finally kind of back him up in that situation, moving Cracks away towards heaven. They've just seen it alive in a 1v3. HP is low, and he's been given... Okay, I was a little worried how much freedom he had been given then, but he gets handled in the end. But NAVI there, doing quite well. I was a bit worried that Artis was almost too isolated and they left it too long, but they did trade in eventually. Yeah,
the trades came out, and obviously as we're going to watch FUT this entire series, they're going to go and take all of these duels and flood out one by one. Just like when you think, hey, no, surely he's not going to peek out, he's going to wait for his team. No, that's when they're going to peek. But I think we're going to see that from both teams all game. We're going to see all these isolated duels, just people just taking these fights constantly. And one thing I'm worried about here is NAVI did not look good on the round 2's last match that they played earlier this week.
Wasn't I saying Boo with just a Sheriff? It's out of capture with just a classic, but it doesn't go that badly. So, not the end of the world so far. Yes, they lost out on Shao, but they have gone 2, so I'm kind of hoping it stays to about this, that we don't see any more threats appear. But Cena does have
the Marshall.
So, you know, there's still room for it. Double stack towards middle as well. Jay and Cracks down towards it.
With that turret watching B, these guys should not have to leave this angle. They just keep that double angle, let CNED deal with A alone. That Marshall in his hands is also very scary.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he does find at least some value with it.
If the knife catches him and he can't dash away after the first shot, that's the only thing that I could really see.
And the knife is back up now, so what does CNED do with this? Can actually go towards Hell this time. Knife should come in. Does get caught. So they know he's here. Should be process of elimination quite quickly, but that's a sharp shot. And he's got another CNED. No, not again. Oh dear. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's 2v2. This is still not great, but I keep saying, surely now they'll be okay. Knife back in hand as well for Cracks too. Does have his nade as well, but they're just going to try and swing this together. I think Artis is on for this one. And Jay trying to find his way around, give himself the best opportunity possible. They've done a good chunk of damage for FUT. They'll be pretty happy with this, considering they did come in with, I think it was just that Marshall. I didn't see anything else. You know, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right.
But beyond that, NAVI will probably, I do say probably, again, just very wishy-washy statements, but these 2 rifles should be able to be kept in hand, unless there's some god timing on Jay here. I think this one is all but over, and it might just be go down to the spike. Yeah, that does seem the case. So, NAVI stabilized with 2 alive, 2 rifles remain.
Only
it's not
one
pretty.
Lost. Only one rifle lost. That's the beauty of the buy that they do. They have 2 ghosts kept into the second round, which means that if they lose, they have to lose at least 3 players for it to be like an economical issue for them. But they're going to keep the 2 Vandals into the bonus round, and that means that they're probably going to leverage just these 2. Maybe they purchase up a 3rd one. And it's possible that they go for like 4 or 5, but yeah, right here we just see 4.
I like seeing CNED on the Outlaw. Just had a round on the Marshall. Seeing that coming out, knowing that that light armor will be present. 3 of them going to have to sit down towards that to try and complement the previous purchase. Could have, I think, upgraded a little more potentially in some, but it is what it is. Bonus looking quite tasty.
And NAVI actually could afford the heavy shields if they wanted to. They chose to do the light shields to play out. This round is a bonus for them. They realize that the next round is the thing that matters the most, and they're budgeting for that next round and for all the future rounds in this half. There's 10 more rounds, including this, and that's what they're budgeting for. So this Outlaw could be huge, massive.
Yeah, a little bit of future-proofing, and CNED's in the right place at the moment. I think the Outdrone should catch. It does. Makes it around the corner, spots 3, they know what's coming in. Paranoid's perfect. Lovely. Gonna force them to pull away from the angle, and it's game on. Now, this is the value, gotta see it. Artis is sitting on the full armor though, so again, oh, that's not ideal, but Ada Captain gonna bail them out with 2. Cleared in the end is CNED, but the rest are here. The cavalry's arrived, and FUT have players on the side. Zipan goes down, 2 stand for FUT, and they mark themselves on the board for the first round here.
It was well played rotation from FUT there. As soon as that Owl drone scouts out, hey, we see them coming up short. It's going to be an A split. Let's get this rotation going. And if FUT was any slower on that rotation, things could have been really bad, especially with CNET missing those shots. So good rotation, but Navi's got to be a little bit happy with that as well. They only invested 4 rifles into that, light shields. Here comes the gun round, and FUT, CNET doesn't have an op yet.
That's true. I guess it's kind of delayed it and then kind of tilted it more favorably towards Na'Vi. Long run. Zipan as well with his ult could be huge. We do have 1 away from the Blade Storm too, so that's sitting pretty nearby. CNED with a quick challenge. Going to have to respect that. Forced away, utility invested to ensure it as well. And they're going to take this space incredibly quickly. Look at the pace on the back of Na'Vi, and it's not just Artis alone. A late pop of the ult, try and get as much validity as possible. They are falling away a touch here.
They baited the rotation away from A. Going A would be perfect here, but it looks like they're hesitating in their approach.
And now starting to come across, and you can see that consideration starting to tick through towards FUT. They've already got CNED getting a little bit closer, and it's really on Captain to try and buy some time. Ideally, get a body or two, but it's going to be difficult. Going to smoke off his left to allow him to focus on the right. He's got CNED there as well, who's going to get 1. A fair fight on the second, but outdone by Xiao. Sight's now there. Na'Vi fighting up a little, uphill, but sure, they've got the sight now. Should be able to get a plant. Wait and see that cross through in the hands of Zipan. And that's going to be going down. So 4v3. HP very low on Xiao, however.
It's a very different look from Na'Vi this round. Choosing to go super fast there. It's all down to this. If FUT decide to go for this, it can be very consequentive.
One suppressed.
Yeah, the Jay just about making it over towards Tree. Slow and steady progress. It's going to be down to the wire if they do go. Yeah, Flash is fantastic. Fully eats it, Chow. But the trade, again, the numbers looking really good. Yeah, the Jay breaking in, however, is going to put them on red alert. Angel forced to fight and forced to die, now leaving just 1 alive. Sugetsu outdone. FUT left it to those last couple of seconds, but they played it back so well, Josh.
Yeah, I'm actually so surprised. Like, first of all, I made up a word, so that's how surprised I was. That
I wasn't going to call you out on it. I was going to commit, man.
Surely they're not going to go for this right now, but then they actually chose to go for it. And I think that the reason why it worked so well was because the post-plant positions from Na'Vi looked like they weren't, like, you see how they're split off, like inside A main, inside Hell, one's close on site. They're not in positions to trade. So these are the issues that Na'Vi has in terms of their teamwork. And I was about to give them so much credit for how they played fast in the early round, discovered that they got rotated on, canceled, went back to A. Everything was looking so well for them up until that post play.
We're talking about the delay of getting that operator out. Well, we're going to see it. Now, I wonder if that knife caught towards CNED. He might have been spotted quite early on here, but still, I don't know how that changes really any of the plans. Artis on the other side going to go for the Blade Storm. So, a little bit of a trade out here, but you can see that there are 2 players on the side ready for this, and Artis is going to be stalled out. This is going to get difficult. That dash, I don't know if he's going to have it towards this. Just about. Oh, well. Yeah, ran out in the end, so going to take a little bit of damage and isolated. Really good stall there as well. Yeah, the Jay kind of isolating him. No one able to follow him up, so doesn't get the approach they wanted. Zipan, however, does connect. Now it's Jay. Back to the site, feeling a little uncomfortable. TP. I mean, it got committed to, but this is just Sugetsu in a 1v2 out of Captain, dipped out of there in the end. What does he do with this? 50 seconds. He's got the information. He's desperate one of these players would outplay that or overplay their hand. That could have been disastrous, but with 15 HP now, the gap is closing. The chances becoming less and less. And to take no threat, they opt to use the shot darts, and it works very nicely. Keeping Na'Vi contained and kind of handling what was starting to look like a dangerous round, even though it was mostly, I guess, Zipan landing a couple of belting shots here.
Yeah, those opening Sheriff shots from Zipan were massive, and I do wonder if that Omen, if they let the Omen commit with that TP, instead of canceling it right here at the last millisecond, I wonder if that's a 1 versus 1. That's winnable for Na'Vi.
Nice! Nice, hold on!
The nice is back.
Yes, the nice is back.
You hear it all the way from Shanghai. Now, ult's starting to really hit online for FUT as well. Na'Vi investing the Blade Storm just a moment ago. CNED this time searches deeper. We saw him last time try over towards Tree. They didn't really give him the time of day. They were more focused towards that B site. This time they take a glance and, well, they lose their head. Zipan gone, who was such a big propeller forward for them. Oh, that's maybe not expecting Na'Vi so close up, but still caught off guard and an opportunity gained for Na'Vi. Sight already starting to be tested too. You're going to have a player on site, and well, Sugetsu gets taken away pretty swiftly. Just falling aware that maybe someone slipped the net. Artis. has got himself a chance here. But they seem very conscious of the fact that they have not had eyes on the site. Plant now coming in. NAVI. What are you going to do with this?
They need a plan to disrupt this Killjoy ultimate. It's going to be in heaven, which means it doesn't get all the way into A main. But Artist might choose to sit and tank it at the very last second.
This is tough. Have to fall off. And he actually gets caught by it too. Okay, that's not
door's
great.
closed.
And yeah, one of the other players just got cut off as well from short. That's Xiao removed from this. What can stop the diffuser? Spam through the smoke is the best they can hope for. Xiao finally comes in. Artist as well. And the diffuse the whole time through. I mean, that's got to be gutting for Na'Vi there.
Considering the situation that FUT was in there, though, I thought for sure doors closed on the short player, only one player, main, KO Molly up. If that Killjoy sticks that diffuse all the way through instead of getting it only to half, perhaps they win the round with more players alive at the end of the situation. But right there, Na'Vi needs to have that foresight of, hey, they're playing the Killjoy setup on A. They have the Killjoy ultimate. They're going to play for the retake right now. That retake ultimate's either going to be in tree or it's going to be in heaven. We need to have a plan before they pop that ultimate of where we're going. One is Angel's going to be droning, which means that he's not going to have the Vandal out. Give it to someone that will be. Or two, he can get his ultimate orb from A or B, and when he goes for the drone tag, he can use his ultimate, another reason to give the gun to someone else.
Would have been nice to see that managed. It was something you noted before as well, that you didn't really enjoy in the last performance, so they still seem adamant in the approach. NAVI gonna have to try and do well with less. Xiao and Sugetsu will be the ones down on the Sheriff. Mr. Fallen gonna note presence towards middle. Na'Vi kind of pausing here. Not really over-exploring anyway. You still have the extremities being held. Just taking a little bit of presence towards mid. Yeah, very standard approach so far. Trying to play Artist in off the back of the Aldrone, but god damn that hurts. 64 HP. He's going to be reeling after that one. Mr. Fallen tries to outstay his welcome, and Angel does do well. Cracks open at least the first couple of steps here. Going to force out a captain to invest the paranoia. Trying to play back in Cena, does not get what he wants. One dart left, and now he's a little screwed here. What the hell are you meant to do with this? Oh, okay, Zipan, nice little pop flash. And a captain on the site is nasty, though. Don't forget about this man. Even takes a second glance back. Na'Vi getting a lot of success here, though, but still not
30
really
seconds
committing.
left.
Suppressing.
Out of captain staying alive means that when Na'Vi actually decide to commit to A, if they play anyone in main, they're going to get smoked off. Na'Vi need to play this post plant to perfection. They need to make sure they understand where they're going to fight once that retake starts coming in.
I'm getting nervous down to 10, but they should get the plant here. I don't think anything's going to stop it.
10 seconds left.
I mean, Ada Captain's close. Yeah, they get, okay, 2 towards Hell, and the first fight happens. Angel's done nicely. Traded out in the end by Cracks, though. Not got the connection you wanted perfectly towards Xiao, so it's on Yellow J. A 1v3. The guy's good, but this is asking a lot. He's going to know at least 2 now, knowing where the Cypher is. Going to know there's one towards Hell. Not clean enough. Na'Vi gripping onto this round here, closing the scoreboard back up a touch.
I think the only saving grace for that round for FUT was the fact that they didn't invest in a weapon for CNED. He used his Blade Storm. He's going to have money for potentially an op this round because, man, he's just not hitting some shots right now. I also think that this retake situation was a little bit forced. KO had a flash left. They should be using a flash as they come out of heaven.
Nice.
I don't know why Cracks chose not to use it and just decided to double peek, especially with the Killjoy so far away. But that could have been a completely different situation had they used the flash.
Yeah, 4-3 now. And as highlighted, even with those 4 rounds in a row, those rounds were so volatile that there was no stability in the money. So they have suffered off the back. You highlighted correctly, though, that the operator is still a possibility. Doesn't get seen.
Perfectly hit from it, so they're not going to expect it here.
Huge, huge first pick. Artist gone, they can sit back a little deeper now.
Last time CNI got an early pick towards middle, he rotated back towards A heaven. I wonder if he's going to do something again and not expect kind of how Na'Vi reacted to this, which is, we know where the op is, let's go and take the space somewhere else.
Yeah, and seeing the utility switch up as well from the Killjoy. So that's a bit of a change. You're going to shut off tree from being an easier approach, but it does mean they have to be very conscious of middle as well. That push up towards market, it's going to have to be eyes on or just kind of expecting maybe a push to come through. Deeper smoke put across the map as well. Knife too. They're very much looking like they're expecting this B play to come in, maybe a little ahead of where Na'Vi are in their progress.
And you can see by the Killjoy setup for FUT, CNED is worried about that market split, but now he's shifting over, and this is going to be so problematic. Xiao has 2 smokes though.
To hold on the other side, you've got Yeah, Mr. Fallen still has his dart, Krax has a flash, but CNED's here.
30 seconds left.
It's a bit of a gamble. You're kind of gambling blind. Still paranoid about middle, but it is all direct approach. That's enough scene. They should be ringing the alarm bells. Flash goes in, and the stall comes out. But FUT are back to the wall. Just about evading the flash, isolates the fight, doesn't hit it, but Krax does. There's still some fight in them yet. There's still some players back here. Mr. Fallen, one of them. 10 seconds, and here comes out a captain. 8 seconds now. Plant's got to come in, and it does. NAVI getting a little bit of safety here. Just a classic without a captain. Maybe a res could be toyed with. No, not going to get it. Okay, 2v2. Yedajay does have a Guardian, so a little bit more firepower to lean into. A little bit of his kit back as well. Might be able to use some of that, but as it stands, the paranoia give me the go signal. Baits out the player, but Angel, safe pair of hands, sat safe in the corner. No issue there, NAVI navigating it well.
I'm actually surprised that Krax chose to use his ultimate there. On the back of B site, yes, you have two teammates next to you, but you're on eco, CNED's got an op, and already all the utility has come out from NAVI to get into the site. They've used their smokes, they've used the flash, the knife, the everything, the paranoia even.
Nice, Angel.
Actually, they didn't use the paranoia there. But still, surprising that they invested it there. CNED needs to start hitting shots. And I know that FUT is a team that relies on their momentum. Once they start winning some good rounds, once they start hitting some good shots, that's when they're going to start snowballing. But right now, we haven't seen that. They had that string of 4 rounds. You think, oh, they're going to run away with this now. Nope. NAVI ties it back up 4-4.
And again, this kind of comes back to why some of us were, I don't want to say disappointed, that sounds almost too judgmental, but we were waiting to see more from that previous Heretics game. And there's no disputing the Heretics are an exceptionally good side. I think everyone's learned that as of late, but this is a much better look from NAVI. Some you know, those key factors we were looking for starting to look a touch better. Again, it's playing a little bit more to their strength here on Ascent. At least this is NAVI's map choice, so no surprises in that regard. But a couple of nice ults to bank onto. Zipan has his, Angel's got his, Shao as well. 2 off from Ardis and only 1 away from Sugetsu.
I think this is going to be the big point here. That means that there's no smokes going to come down to main. If that's the case...
Oh, they're going to get at least 1 invested. Paranoia gone in. Ardis going to step further forward. Looking for that second man in here. Ada Captain going to deal with the first man. Good follow from Angel. And that's the second layer to NAVI, exceeding expectation. Ada Captain does eventually get removed. Angel doing well to sweep site here. Krax and Yedajay, good quick rotations. Damn good shot, but now a 2v2 as Zipan still on the knees. Pop flash quick, up again, but only for a second, and Yedajay lines them both up. Well controlled by FUT. Got very dicey on the site, but it works out.
That was crazy. He just shot 2 bullets into the smoke, killed Zipan getting like picked back up. But I think one thing that we didn't see there, and it allowed Ada Captain to get another kill, was right here. There was another flash. I think Krax, as he's rotating up heaven, throws it just over the roof somewhere, lands anywhere, and it allows Ada Captain to get another kill there, which allowed them to just keep flooding, and win that round.
Deep breath.
Okay, so Zipan did use the ult. That's been burnt up on the other side. We do still see that Outlaw coming out to play, but there's not too many suffering. 2 players on the other side. Going to be down the light armor. Ardis 1, Zipan the other. So CNED's going to have to be on point here. Did have an opportunity. That was one of the players with that lighter armor. We know now this high priority area. NAVI are looking to try and take this market space. Alarmbot's back in position this time though. So going to give away the game. They've made it at least up towards market. Late investment of the utility from Sugetsu as well, just to try and keep this area as safe as possible. So what does CNED do now? Oh, actually, looking on the other side of the map, you highlighted it. Already seen the exploration. Oh, CNED, that's a bold play, but it works out. Takes away Angel. And again, it's all indicators still looking like it's going to be this B piece, and especially the amount of space taken.
What did you do?
How did he forget that was open? He was in the middle of no man's land. He's given them a chance back into this round now.
I know exactly where you are.
They're going to go towards the site here.
So many players on the defense on the site, though. This is going to be hard. It's like 4 knocks.
Yeah, here we go. So the dash comes in. Ardis going to try and break that line of sight. Perfectly coupled with the flash. NAVI systematically sweeping the site so well. And a captain's got the flank here, but Ardis succeeds as well. Takes out Mr. Fallen, leaving it in a 1v3. Need this clean. He's not going to get it clean either. They're not going to give him that fair fight. You've got a firing squad waiting down there. So many potential threats. Even a flash still with Zipan.
Cover going out.
They try and smoke off some of these approaches, give himself the best chance possible. You can see it from his perspective. No one's giving him anything, expecting maybe a high-low setup there or something. Double face was enough. We're tied all even now.
CNED CNED needs to wake up right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in his head, but you know, you see this round 2 with the Marshall, 2 headshots. You're thinking, oh, he's warming up. He's gonna start slamming it. He has 2 opening kills with the op, but that's basically all he has. Every other time that he's had an outlaw or an op, he's missed his shots, multiple shots. And then not only has he missed his shots, he's been caught out of position.
Yep.
Just like not expecting the enemy to be where they are, just standing out in the open, like, oh wait, oops, I forgot.
No, not good enough here from CNED. Gonna hope to see a little more wake up during this series, because that start was perfect. You felt tick in the box. You couldn't ask for a better beginning. And it all falls to pieces. Now Na'Vi get to really bring that money up to bear as well. They'll be happy going forward. But with a stack.
Oh, he got the silent jump off. They won't expect him up here.
Oh, this is nice from Sugetsu. Oh, he's seen so much. Does he expect the third?
Cage.
Hello? No, he doesn't. Absolutely not. Very unawares. Don't really blame him. Did spot at least 2 there. Did as well as he could in this, but still, you got to look at the numbers. And it's all Navi's side. Straight in again. They found a weakness and they're exploiting it. They want to just keep pouring in through market. And it's just classic. Yes, there's that 1 recovered Vandal, but beyond that, that's all they got to write home about. And it's a short message. Zeta Captain's pretty far away. And another plant for Na'Vi, and they found what they wanted here. They found that avenue of approach.
One versus 4, basically unwinnable.
Yeah,
There's just one time I want to see an Omen with ultimate just bait by like shooting across the map from like heaven or something, just spamming. Have like Navi's like, oh, he's over there at A. They just start chasing him, right? And then he ulties onto the spike, smokes and diffuses. I just want to see that one time.
One time.
One time.
And of all the teams as well, I just don't think Navi's going to fall for it, but I like the idea. You know what I mean?
I feel like
just
if
like a disciplined team.
any team that's going to fall for it, it's going to be Navi.
You think? No,
Yeah, of
come
course.
on. Come on now. How dare you say that to Angel? Can't believe you're so toxic.
Angel's going to be the first one chasing. He's A. Come on, guys.
He doesn't lead by example, all right? He just, you know, do as I say and not as I do. But already, Zeta Captain's had enough of how this has been going. The paranoia's in, he's taking the TP. You can see the pressure from both sides. Na'Vi now know what's going on. They've got a fight on their hands, and FUT want to just bring it to him. This is a dangerous game because Na'Vi are hitting the shots already 2 back-to-back, and it looks like it's falling to pieces here. FUT looking a little lost for answers, but if I'm maybe mistaken, I haven't seen a timeout for them, and Artist just being fed kills. Gonna be happy with this. God, I thought that was on the money. It wasn't. Krax was, though. Now Krax and CNED. Well, we asked him to hit some shots. I believe this would be the time to do so.
If Angel ends the half and he still hasn't used this since around like 4, I'm gonna actually say some words.
I'd love to see you try and say anything to Angel. He will break you. CNED, come on. This is the time, right? This is the time. You've got knife for Krax as well, but right around that corner.
Last player standing.
Well, that's a problem.
Oh! Well,
needed you to hit some shots.
Cena needs to hit some shots, but it doesn't matter because Angel's not even using his ultimate. I have no idea what's going on with that.
Can I record it when you try and talk to Angel about this?
Sure, yeah, why not?
I'm so excited. But as it stands, Na'Vi, what a resurgence towards the end there, finding some real stability after what was, I think it was what, 4 in a row. Looked like FUT had found, you know, what they needed, some nice stability in how they were approaching the game, but Na'Vi woke up.
I was running with knife.
Yeah.
And you're old.
Because why not switch to the knife, you know, in a 4-on-1?
5-7.
At least you can find a humorous situation.
All good. They're leading. Not a problem in the world. 2 sheriffs going to be coming out, Yenergy and CNED with those. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it because it feels like I'm seeing a night and day Na'Vi from a team that just, you know, wasn't really hitting how they'd want. To this, there's totally different. A beautiful high flash as Artist swings out. It was actually Shadow find a lot of it, but it's not just the 2 of them. It's a whole team effort. Everyone's crunching in towards this, leaving just Mr. Fallen with almost nowhere to back to. They've got the spike, they've got mid, they've got everything they wanted.
You almost sound surprised there when you say it, like a full team effort. What, Na'Vi? We're seeing a completely different version of them than we saw earlier today, but I mean, here we go. That's a start for them.
And that's where it ends in that round. A golf clap from the audience here. Very nice.
But I mean, this is still another point. I have to bring it up again.
Sure.
The round 2, they're going to go for their Navi, buy the 3 rifles, the 2 ghosts. I saw them do it last time, even on their defense, which is something that you could probably question to some validity. It's all on making sure that they do something coordinated like this together. Again, just like some sort of team fight, or if someone has a ghost, they're paired up with someone with a rifle, they can do a bait and switch, or some sort of crossfire, or trade potential in any capacity.
Okay, so we're looking at Zipan and Shout, and of course then Artist with the Marshal.
Knife deployed.
So he's the one who's going to get the first check, and you can see them drift away instantly. That knife is rather telling. You're not going to just drift out here, are we? We are. Oh god, what are we doing? What are we up to, FUT? You thought that would work. Artist is having fun. Artist is having fun. It's looking like a railgunning Quake, and Angel's banging out Mr. Fallen. All easy. All easy. No harm, no foul, no threat to be found. Yellow J, well, NAVI. Fully in control with an Andalusia flawless, and a nice little moment for Artist there. I'd be happy with that one.
Getting those opening kills. Marshall versus no shields on their opponents. It's just too easy.
Oh.
It's right there as well.
Oh.
I swear, that weapon is just so appreciated.
I mean, if I could aim like Artist, I'm sure it'd seem much better. But yeah, not everyone's got a little bit of that.
To be fair, they just like slow peeked into him with classics.
Yes, they certainly did, which probably wasn't the ideal way to go. But apparently NAVI are doubling down on this. They're going to keep fighting. Now coming into the bonus for them, they still have a couple of the rifles, and it feels like they're just kind of rolling the dice and seeing what happens. And CNED's farming. So it felt like they had all of that going right for them until now.
2 versus 4, Navi. Marshall still up on an Artist, and I think he's trying to look to upgrade his weapon. I mean, to the Bulldog, I don't even consider this much of an upgrade. If you got a Vandal there, different story, but Navi gamble stacking towards the B area. This could actually play out in their favor. If they're able to get a couple of people running in with the trap wires or anything like that, no smokes up. Atacassi is the one that fell. He's going for the flank, but
Yeah, the J.
there's no smokes. They could kill him on the cross.
Cage trick.
Getsu, only with one. And it wasn't Yellow J who fell, so Artist, I mean, the flank was out of question, and a nice shot from Cena to catch him in the end. So, tempering the aggression, slowing Navi down a little, who got pretty bold with their mid-play there. A lot of them trying to just kind of turn the screws, get in their faces, and I mean, it's a bonus round, so they'll be coming back in with a very nice purchase here, but still, I felt like it could have been tightened up a little bit.
It's one of those situations where it's like, okay, you want to go for kind of like an aggressive play, it's a bonus round, but you're also investing a little bit in upgrading some weapons.
Yes.
But then you also have Artist with a Marshall, and he's on A site. Like, why is he on A? Why not just come off Cat and help you just full commit to this mid fight? You're on a bonus, full commit to this. Why not? If they go A, what's the point?
Okay. He's got an upgrade now. Operator's out. No one willing to take that early fight, at least. You can see the approach from FUT. 4-1 split. Just Mr. Fallen taking his time towards B. First bit of contact towards middle. And it is CNED to be noted. Does he get some chip damage on that? I think he remains unscathed, so somewhat okay for now. You can see the slow adjustment, the slow creep from Artist as well, coming around towards Cat here, but it's very patient from FUT. And now Mr. Fallen kind of showing his hand a little bit around the minute mark. But the vast majority of FUT still over towards the A side.
That trip is gnarly. The idea that FUT's doing here, they know the Cypher's playing B. They break the camera. They try to like shock a trip. They're moving over towards A. They think that Navi's gonna go reinforce B and help that Cypher. Navi hasn't left though.
No, they haven't, and they just re-cleared middle to a decent extent, so they can be pretty hell-bent on holding this A main push-up. This is getting a little worrying here. Where's the entry? Where's the way forward? They're not finding any safety in this, and Xiao still waiting patiently. Perfectly timed, at least for one, but he gets traded out. Crack's still alive, and a 2v2. With 10 seconds or so on the board, it is a little low, but nothing can deny this now. Now that is some rotten positioning. The Sugetsu is going to get some nice timing. A double stack towards Hell, though.
No dart for 15 seconds.
He's got his cam. Maybe he wants to give it a crack to see if he can spot someone out here, but Again, how's he playing with Angel on this? Angel is progressing down at least towards
Not
those first
ready.
couple of bricks. He knows what this is. They've got a really good idea on it. And the timing on the swing, they've got both of them at it, Captain. Bailing them out, it felt, in that round a little bit, because Na'Vi had all the pieces for at least a moment there.
I was for sure thinking, like, Na'Vi, 3 players on the site, you know it's not middle, you know that they're coming from main, you're gonna slaughter them. The fact that it got back closer into a 2 versus 2 there was kind of, like, shocking, and then, yeah, I'm also surprised that Sugetsu didn't continue, like, commit with the timing on that flank. I thought for sure, okay, he's got the timing, they just planted, they have to be on site, Angel's gonna make a few steps, spam into hell here, keep the pressure on, Sugetsu peeks out, gets one, puts the camera up, and finds the second guy. Nope, Na'Vi, I don't think they played that well at all.
Now, we're down to pistols. Sheriff's light armor.
Bladestorm.
Bladestorm is there. That's about the only redeeming quality. And
My eyes are down.
we've seen enough, at least of the feet coming forward, to know that there was players behind this, but I mean the spam's not exactly quiet either, so for keeping them guessing though. Foot cam.
Nice.
Thanks, man. I've been working on that one. That is going to be Shao now having to try and slip away if he can. Does manage to at least avoid most of the spam, but the stack for Na'Vi is, it depends where the spike goes. It's still kind of slowly working up middle, and they're going to find no one here. It's a gamble from Na'Vi now, later into the round, around the 35-second marker, but the red carpet's rolled out towards B.
30 seconds left.
I don't mind the gamble from Na'Vi. Just didn't work out. Now they have to decide how they're going to approach this retake. They lost their smokes now, but they have the Bladestorm. They have some upgraded pistols, so they're absolutely going to go for this.
Spike planted.
Once upon a time, a man could do no wrong and he could walk on water, but this is a very challenging moment, and he's been taken down. Zipan, however, showing off a little bit here, but only for a moment. FUT taking another step closer, almost tying this one back up here.
I think J now on more outlaw kills than Cena this game.
Probably.
Artis gonna have up money though. Both teams kind of like in each other's heads a little bit. A very back and forth game.
Yeah.
It's not like any one team kind of is in complete control. I think when it comes down to these late round situations, FUT does have a little bit of the edge on that. They've been closing out a little bit better on the retakes and the post plans than Na'Vi has.
Got to highlight though the amount of ults that FUT are getting here. There's one of them.
Zipan should trade it out before he gets I think it's too late.
Think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Crack's going to just be going in on this one. Angel trying to run away, trying to get out of danger. Shao's actually been tagged. Oh dear, this could be a disaster. Did he just almost run into both of them there? Mr. Fallen's found Angel and J on the follow-up. The site looking vulnerable. Shao desperate to try and hold on, but he's overwhelmed. The sea of the FUT players just crashing down. And Artis, he's got an operator. He's not going to be too inclined to try and go for this one. Might be time to back away and keep that safe for the following round.
I like what we're seeing this game, though. We're seeing a lot of like different tempo and pace changes. We're seeing some like audibles. We're seeing how they're kind of like pumping one direction and then they're ending the other one. I think Zip had made a really critical mistake this round. As he's rotating from A, as he sees that Krax is popping his KO ultimate, it should be instantly traded. He should pop his null command as soon as he's like, when he's still out of the radius of it, and then run into the radius of that. That puts down all of FUT's abilities, and they just cancel each other out, and FUT needs to decide, are we going to go with no abilities here, or are we going to cancel and then reset the round? And I think Zipan not pumping that was a huge mistake.
Wonder if we're going to see a timeout potentially here for Na'Vi, maybe. Don't know if it's getting a little out of hand for them. They still have, I don't know what the buy's going to be looking like, but yes, just so you know, while the replay runs, there is indeed a timeout for Na'Vi. And in Na'Vi's position, is there something that's clear to you that's very, very tricky to stabilize the economy? But let's see if they can maybe play an Artist a touch more. Is there something they keep in mind? I don't know if it's this round or maybe one that's following, but as it stands, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that up the entire time. For now, this is perfect. Sugetsu trying to help him out here. Artist does connect.
And that smoke's down too. So now Navi should be playing, understanding there's no smokes. We can have crossfires. We don't have to play standard anymore.
Shao slipping closer. This is unexpected. Yeah, the J, diligent and clean enough. Did do good damage down to 17. It is a lesser buy, but this is Artist now put under so much scrutiny and pressure. CNED seems very aware, had the better angle. Must have noticed him trying to adjust there. Not sure if Artist just didn't think that there was anyone close enough to notice it. Zipan, yes, he's been good with that Sheriff, but not this round. Angel has picked up the Operator. There's still that rifle in the hands of Sugetsu, but this is looking like 4 standing. I mean, yeah, the J, yeah, he's down lower, but he can play as safe as he wants. And they'll be willing to try and just keep these weapons in hand.
The same 2 players again, yeah. And that's one of those situations where it's like Navi kind of like make the right kind of call at the start of the round. Yeah. Artist is able to get the kill because Sugetsu sets him up. Hey, the drone's coming. Okay, I'm gonna break it with my Vandal. Okay, cool. Now he goes for the peek, takes out the smokes. Perfect situation. Man advantage, smokes down. Shao, understandably, is saying, oh, they're heavy towards A main. I'm going to get this close angle on the B player with the judge. But why? You don't need to. Because if the enemies do end up coming B, they have no smokes. They're getting crossfired. As they're scaling into sight, if they do choose to go B, they have to be worried about getting shot in the back from spawn, getting shot in the back from market. There's all these angles that they have to, FUT has to deal with that they have no smokes to cover. So why not just stay alive? The judge in the site is just so strong. You could play Boathouse. You could play like right under lane. You could play close to B main. If your teammates are doubled up in mid still, like there's so many options, but you choose to get close into main. I think that forces Artist to go for kind of like a weird angle there. He's dropping, and then one by one, they kind of just, it's like a domino effect. Who's next on the in the line of the domino? Are they going to do a full execution behind it, or are they going to use it as a part of a fake, or are they going to fake it, make it look like it's a fake, but they're actually going to hit behind it?
See what the game plan is. These are the drop of the barrier.
Knife for short, dart for A main, I think. Once that lands.
Oh, this is very cautious beginnings. Nothing given away on the other side. FUT kind of showing their hand early here. They have seen Artist. Now, anything to handle that lockdown. Looks like at least Zipan's going to give it a damn go. It should do it. It does. So now he's popped his ult as well, so this is really stalling. Now, was this a direct thing they wanted to try out here? But they're already looking for a new route here, FUT. FUT trying to maybe carve a new path, but this does play an Artist a little bit more, but now pressure split through. 3 through middle, 2 through main, and a 1v1. And CNED wins it this time. Starting to maybe warm into the match, but the information's been found. NAVI slipped back to site. They're being surrounded, they have to somewhat respect it. Let's see what the setup looks like. Let's get some value out of this. Difficult for sure for CNED, but he's managed to make it perfectly fine so far. And Zipan does get teed up. Yeah, the J goes down. Underhand flash gives him at least a second chance of life here. An audacious cross, and they find a fair fight. They've spotted some more here. How are they still alive? How are they not being cleared? Individually, they try and fight, and they've fallen. It's just Shao now. They've made this possible. But the time...
Is he going to take the 1v1 on site?
He's going to be... Oh, I thought he might try and slip down lane there. No, he's going to shut the door. Try and find the 1v1, but look at CNED's timing on this. I quite like it, but you might read it. Does Shao even consider it? He absolutely does. He at least finds the shot, and now the 1v1, Mr. Fallen finds him. Heartbreak for Navi after a very possible round, but FUT making it out of danger there.
I'm actually surprised that Zipan chose to pop his ultimate there in that situation. I think he didn't trust the fact that his Molotov was going to break that Killjoy lockdown. But here, yeah, this fight was crazy at the back of the site with like all the, in and out, like whack-a-mole, the flash and everything. A little bit of an overextension, I think, by CNED as well. He thought he had that timing. He's going kind of with his teammate, but did not expect Shao to be there, kind of waiting for him.
Yeah. And again, close as these may get, it's another for FUT. They keep marching further forward. Shao. Does get to stick around. Okay, CNED. Yeah, fair enough, he's gone down. That's from Zipan too, so maybe wondering where Artist is here. Deep smoke goes up, isolating Artist, but they don't have any clue at all. Yeah, completely none the wiser. Drifting in a freebie for Artist then.
Now you have to convert this. So Shao, how are you going to play this? Artist gets out, plays his life.
think Angel's considering that too. They can't let anyone have a, an easy path forward or an isolated fight. So Angel trying to complement a touch hit. Oh,
Cover going out.
what you're wanting. Xiao's in
Now
trouble now.
Xiao-
It's not, it's at best, you maybe catch one and pray for a TP, but now they've made it back to a decent scenario. Luckily, Artis has bailed them out from a 3v3. Now a 2v3 with Zipan, Artis, and Sugetsu. Information's there. TP's taking the tour. Has a quick look behind, spots nothing. Maybe going to consider Sugetsu's
30
rotation now.
seconds
Over towards Tree.
One flash.
Zipan's got a lot of util as well on the other side here. Paranoia still without a captain, so a little bit of a spread on either side. What do they go for? Gonna flash him in. Artis gonna take a little bit of damage, but he finds the fight. Catching out a captain where he went for the Paranoia, and Artis. Marvelous work in that round. Making up for some real mistakes, Josh.
Oh, some massive mistakes. I think without Artis on this team right now, Navi would be having a really difficult time. Like, kind of like the difficult time they had against Heretics. It is Navi playing themselves. They have those two-man advantage. They had middle just a few seconds ago, but they just gave it up. They have 3 players towards B. So how do the A players play? Walking around, trying to reposition that late into the round, that long after they got the opening kills. Angel gets caught out in the open, and now it's Xiao versus 3, and they already gave up middle. So he's open to short. These rounds are getting really close, and Navi getting bailed out by Artis there isn't painting the picture of how poorly some of these rounds are actually getting played out.
Yeah, it is a Herculean effort from Artis currently. At least in that round, it was very clear cut. And that has broken the trend. The scoreline's still close enough from that first half. They are sat at 11-10. Angel posting this.
Maybe that's why I didn't use it in the first half.
Perhaps. Hello. RV, just taking a walk. FUT gonna be happy enough to greet that. They picked up the pace of Zipan, stunning shots. Still, if Artis is alive, there's still a chance.
And Artis has great timing as well on this flank. I don't know if they're going to expect him. If Zipan goes back to heaven now and makes a little bit of pressure there, it might beat it for him.
Oh, the chance. Oh, he couldn't quite get it that time. Cracks bests him. Zipan's position was noted earlier on, so they've got to have an idea of where he's around, and they seem very aware of this. Yeah, that's going to seal it.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 versus 3, like in a situation like this, you're like, yeah, we kind of need this. They're going to have 12 rounds.
Yep.
But I think at that situation, 1 versus 3, once Artis loses that opportunity, just save that weapon. Because, yeah, you have to play for the OT. It's better to play for the OT when you have your ultimate still, and then, you could drop like a not great weapon to. I think he would have just had enough money. If he saved 1,000, I think he had 19. He could have dropped the Vandal, kept his armor. If he had.
Yeah. Hindsight is a marvelous thing. I can imagine the moment maybe just a little too lost in the sauce, but
yeah.
Again, that was a drop of rain in a drought. That previous round, when Artis became the savior, you're gonna need another one of those to even keep play on. And they extend play now. Sheriff for Angel, Stinger for Artis does have the Blade Storm.
Take flight.
And a late outright, very nicely timed here. Can at least catch 2 players. Not sure about the third.
You have the Sheriff, Angel. Your teammates have Vandals, 3 of them. Plus Blade Storm. Thank you.
He's finally listening. Still, Zipan this time.
Zipan, you just saw them close middle?
Oh god, the timing is egregious, and he's gone! He got caught trying to pop the ult, now out of captain, chomping at the bit. They're just around that corner. Maybe a quick res could come in here. Yeah, indeed it has, but Xiao gonna isolate out of captain, slowed them down on the way towards side, but Crack still stands. Does not expect Sugetsu playing from up in heaven. And now a scramble on the site, but it's working out. NAVI holding on to the threads of this round. Leaving yet a J. The 1v4. Quick little upgrade found as well for Angel. Artis, everyone now sitting in a much better situation. Zipan is on the case. This is his angle to watch, and Yellow J has to give it a damn good go. That's the first good step. Gets to stay alive, spots out another player. Doesn't take too much damage, but the time was dwindling. He had to make a move, and NAVI showing some diligence here towards the end of this, well, half at least.
And I want to highlight what Xiao did there, because I think he only ended up with 1 kill in that situation, but this defensive smoke on site, followed up with the paranoia, he was able to get a kill there, but what that smoke on the site and the paranoia does is it allows his teammates to flood out, 2 more people coming out of heaven, fighting with Xiao on the site, and then that sets up Angel for the flank from short as
than the lower end, but it's not, as you said, the overall effect is not completely, you know, everything's fixed, everything's great. It's just we're seeing a little bit more of that coming through now. Is that the fact that we get Ascent here? Is it just, you know, working out a little better? We'll wait and see, because there is the rest of, obviously, the map pool to play out, but as it stands, NAVI give themselves a chance here to take this to OT. Still a buy in hand and some fairly damage on CNED, but a cautious beginning after the back of the timeout from FUT.
that Molly actually got the entrance trip there over on B. It's not going to do much because of the setup that Sigetsu is doing. Passive at Boathouse has that trip on site. Camera still sees B main info. They keep this mid setup. And Artis is actually going to perfectly bait this for Xiao, or he should be able to. Usually it's the Jet that's in those like precarious positions. Once Artis takes his shot, gets away, they're not going to expect Xiao to be in this position as well. But with
Artis, this is tense stuff, isn't it?
right? Camera sees nothing at B main. They see nothing at mid. Is it going to be an A hit?
I think that's maybe a pixel out of place or just a shot fired. That's about it.
This ultimate from Cracks on this A split.
And Angel. Oh my god, he's gonna be flashed by Zipan. The timing here. Angel, you gotta make this work, and he doesn't. He doesn't.
He hesitated.
30 seconds left.
I don't know what really caused him to turn his eyes away there from that. Just pause for thought. Xiao, does he get to save them again? Last time he was the hero. This time he falls. Just get across the line at 13.
Area of just like let him walk around with an op, or if there's something else going on, like they're just not super comfortable and they're just. I mean, we're seeing Artis on like every he was doing it on Sunset as well on Jet.
Okay, well, proofs in the pudding. I mean, CNED's still on Jet as well. We'll see how it looks in action. There's already FUT straight up walking towards rubble. This is just a straight up brawl here, and they're going to commit. Mr. Fallen's found Xiao. I'd be surprised if they back away, but they are trying to temper the aggression a little bit. Artis almost with a catch there onto the follow-up. Paranoia posted to try and delay some of that further aggression, but still, blood drawn on either side.
Drone still available for Angel.
Okay. Pop that through. That's going to allow Artis to step in.
No smokes. They should run through. I don't think they can just sit here in sight. They need to go and commit through to C or something.
Yeah, I think you're on the same page. The Jay's position worries me though, because that cuts off Angel, and it makes it a little bit more uncomfortable. They should get a plant, I feel, but beyond that, it's going to be a very tough post-plant hold. Zipan still has a little bit of kit. You can see that. Still curious if there is a lurk posted somewhere or someone's not quite with them, but we know that Navi have all players on side. It's Zipan and Artis actually getting proactive. A valid attempt, but it doesn't work out. It was this individual attempt too. The other 2 players from Navi over towards CT trying to play off of sight. And it's going to be down to Sigetsu and Artis to try and find some value here, because for playing as a pack, playing together, not going to make this easy. Yeah, taps on the spike, drawing all eyes through. Clock is running a little lower now, so FUT do need to focus on that. Let's get a little bit more dangerous here as Sigetsu desperate for it, but the swing and CNED almost came around with a knife out there, but FUT do get the defuse. That won't be a problem in the end, but a highly volatile start.
Very interesting start with all that fight towards A main with the shift walking around. Xiao going down early was quite unfortunate because that means that there's no smokes up. It kind of forces Navi to play a certain way. But again, I'm just going to bring it back to Navi playing these post plans. It doesn't really make sense to me. They could have easily played for spawn together. They had a flash on the breach still, so if they want to fight something, they should do it together. Jeez. Is that a line?
Production had fun. That's what happens when production has fun. We need to not allow that ever to happen again.
I should just talk over it next time.
Yeah, straight up. No, but yeah, I guess this does talk a little bit into that bigger picture, into that post plant. I don't mind that they went aggressive as, 2 of them towards CT to try and take some sort of space back. But yeah, I guess it was a little bit of an individual effort as well on the other front.
Yeah, it's like you have that flash, you can fight together, you can put the camera on the spike, wait for them, they're going to smoke either the spike or you, pop the camera when they're defusing it, spam them, flash them, peek them together. Do something together, anything together.
Yeah. For now, we do see Is that an outlaw coming out? It is. Okay, so Sugetsu's gone for that, and a sheriff Angel. There's an angle there that you were hoping wasn't watched. But Angel's lost himself. And now they get to... Oh! Okay. A little bit more of that. How much light armor is there? Not much more. Cracks. He's down to 25. Well, on 25 armor, so that is going to be one factor to this. So he's got to be a little bit careful.
Trick shots.
Yeah, the Jay gonna find Artist though. Shao, the danger man. Bulldog in play. Plant gonna be coming in as well. They've made this look a little bit more doable, to say the least. Oh, Sugetsu showing off now. Give us another.
Just look at the weapons. You'd think Na'Vi was the team on Eco here.
You're absolutely right. 2 Bulldogs now in hand. Zipan's got one for himself as well. Mr. Fallen was on the Sheriff. You've only got Spectre with the J. The time gonna start ticking a little bit quicker now. Forced to fight and actually falls. J gets a fair fight on it, and how has this turned on its head? It shouldn't be this way. Na'Vi had everything there, Josh.
Not again.
What's with these second rounds, man?
They have the winning situation, but again, what happens? First guy peeks, it's Sugetsu. He misses his outlaw shots from the tree room. And then it's next. It's another isolated 1 versus 1. Then it comes down to 1 versus 2. He's getting peeked from 2 different angles, running out of ammo. And then again, like these rounds slip away so easily if you don't play with the discipline. That's what Navi is missing. It's the discipline.
Which, for some reason, my brain just doesn't like hearing Navi and not disciplined. You know what I mean? Even historically. As it stands, you're not wrong. But look at the state of these buys. What is this? We've got Operator for CNED, Outlaw still out for J. That I imagine got collected probably from that last round. But still, on the other side, rifles galore for Na'Vi. So it's really on CNED to find masses of value with this, or make sure he doesn't lose it. A lot of pressure over towards Ada Captain as well, on towards Tree. Na'Vi just testing the waters, not overly enamored with the idea of continuing down this path, but a lot of presence shown early.
Heavy shields for 4 players in Na'Vi. That outlaw not going to do much, but the op could be devastating.
Yeah, pretty much cuts off C, doesn't it? Makes it incredibly hard to hit towards. Do still have Zipan with all, all the kit and caboodle, but still. See, timing on this. Jake, lucky boy, gets to be alive for a moment longer. Sugetsu slowly creeping in. It felt like it was going to be that B hit, but actually does CNED land his shots this time.
Drone, dart, flash, stun, anything. Oof.
Okay, they get away with their life. They could have invested a little earlier into that, but now the drone's going to go up. Should be forced off the angle further. Stuns A, he's been caught. Yeah, he's in trouble now. Trying to stick around as long as he can. Does eventually relinquish that pressure. Has a little bit of a glance, but with 23 seconds, they need to make sure they get this plant down and nothing denies it. I'm looking towards Cracks. Does he have anything to maybe dissuade it? No, not really at this point. Plant is coming in and it's safe. Zipan gets the spike down here. A little bit of chip damage, but Na'Vi can now slip away and sit into a post plant and hopefully hold it, considering the weapons they have. CNED probably not wanting to over-invest on his pathing here. Need the rest of FUT to really set this in motion if they want to go for this fully. That Bulldog was to fall in. That Stinger in play. It's Zipan on the site. But close by now. This is going to be buying precious seconds here. Shao, the first one to truly draw blood. Looking for a follow-up as well. It's going to be Artist. Nicely done here. Na'Vi holding well, and CNED wants out of there. Time to run, time to back away. Na'Vi, first mark on the board for them now. A little scared on that first just jump spot out back by Mound, but they managed to make it past.
I was nervous because it was such a wide jump spot, but I like the follow-up. You get the drone spots on the radar. It doesn't even have to get the tag. Reach falls up with a stun. Guess what? You can't scope it in with the op. And then they just go and take that space right away. And they played this post play relatively well. They played together, side by side. They had a good counter stun on the initial retake there. And then they were able to hold everything, basically. CNED getting away with the op. It's going to be a danger.
Yeah, now we get the buy. Now, where does CNED play with it this time? That's a kind of curious part, because he's shown that maybe C was where he was initially starting. Is there going to be an adjustment? It looks like it. Moment over towards door, it looks like. We did see the Na'Vi prioritizing this control early on here. Artist going to post a couple of blind shots through. Obviously going to have heard that door being broken. They're testing. That was enough of a body to be seen. CNED aware of the presence and for the follow-up shot over by Rubble. So an early man advantage now for FUT.
I like how he could have just waited a few seconds for the smoke to dissipate and then like peek from a weird off angle up top. But jump spotted while the smoke was still up. Angel slipped into blue.
He's actually managed to make it pretty far. Has been noted on his route in, so he's not going to be, unconsidered or left to his own devices completely. But still, this does slow down someone like CNED, who can't really flex back in this way. He'll be kept in check. The plant can be slowed down, and it's actually CNED to connect. Finds Angel. Nice work here from him. He's done good damage. Starting the round and then chipping away just as the plant comes in. But now it's on the rest of FUT to try and match that pace. But NAVI showing some of that resistance. CNED's option starting to close here. He did so much early. It really isn't going to be much to be found at this point.
Cracks realizing that this is a lost cause.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes watching Navi, I sometimes forget like how good some of these players individually are until a round like this comes out and you get to see Sugetsu and Zipan fighting together, and even Xiao. And in some instances, he's been quiet the last, I guess, this entire week. But at one point in time, like, he was a menace.
Yeah, no, the scary factor is that the potential of Na'Vi is always exceptionally high. It's whether or not it feels like maybe the meta suits them. Are they playing in form? Are they playing together? Do they have that synergy? You know, if they get all the green flags, they're one of the scariest teams to face. And I think everyone internationally remembers that. And you kind of think, God, if they hit that form, if only. And it is glimmers of it, though. It's not consistent at the moment. They have not had that consistency for some time. But you see it in moments like that, as you said. After we've had CNED find 2 first picks. Very well done from him, and yet the tides can still turn when Na'Vi remember a little bit of who they are. Back to business, however, and it's similar scenes. They've managed to navigate this way further from CNED's view. This puts it down to Ada Captain. Very difficult to find a stronger hold from this position, especially with a Stinger. Yeah, he can be a nuisance, but he's already fallen. So the site is open. The flank's there, yes. What more are you meant to do? Yeah, Sugetsu.
Where is everyone?
You shouldn't be doing that when there's still a whole lot of players alive, because it gets a little bit uncomfortable if you mess it up. Sugetsu, you better land your shots, and he does go down on a 1-for-1 trade out in the end. And now into a 2v2. Cracks Mr. Fallen. 3 kills for Cracks in this round. TP. Gives Mr. Fallen at least a weapon to play with. Not ideal, but it's a weapon nonetheless. Maybe looking, yeah, there it is. Sugetsu's Vandal.
Last player standing.
Oh, no.
And a banging shot.
Cover going out.
Xiao. Not going to be happy about this one, are you? But they've got the clock against them as well. Xiao needs to play this perfectly, though. Difficult, tricky against 2. A tap on the spike, and they found him. Devastating after what was shooting a body mid-round. If you're gonna give it, you better be ready to deliver on it too, and FUT just laugh at them.
This is so reminiscent of last map as well. It's just those situations, you know where both of the players are. Artists, why are you peeking there in that 2 versus 2? Boy, pen.
How many chances?
Yeah. Well done.
Sliggy's sending out his agents now. He's actually sending them in person. We've got Lexi coming out and everything. There's no escaping him.
Like, this peek was completely unnecessary from Artists. We're seeing CNED again, just like he's trying to break it down low enough that he could break it with a classic easily. But again, it's reminiscent of that Ascent, where he's just caught out in the open again with his op. I think I've seen more rounds with the op saved. Whoa.
Hold on. This is all getting a little bit mad here. CNED gets away unscathed. He's kind of forced to commit to this for a little bit longer, though. But the one-way should give him safe exit, but that was right on a knife's edge.
Yeah, just stalled each other out with just traded utility, reset the round a little bit, got info on what the initial setup was. I've seen more saves with the op than I've seen op kills, but right here. Good opening pick from Artis.
Really well done. He'll be happy with that. But there's quick rotation. This is completely free. Look at Ada Captain. Does he spot? Yeah, he knows it. Hears them trying to fly on through. Maybe not expecting players to be there that quickly, but again, what's the plan now?
There is no plan. That's the plan.
Yeah, Angel, walk up, kill CNED. Thanks. Do that every time. And now Na'Vi just start hitting shots. finding FUT in uncomfortable positions. You see Kratz
Spike
tempted
planted.
to try and sneak in here, but you gotta feel he should be watched, and he is. Zipan just kind of rears his head up, and Mr. Fallen, shots in the dark, but close enough that he wants to back away. What was this round, Josh?
I don't know. The initial trade of utility makes sense. Okay, we're going to cancel out. We have the information. Let's go back to Cease. Artist, beautiful opening pick onto Yedajay. Holding C with, I think he had an outlaw, perhaps it was not. Great. But then you have one player towards B, it's Sugetsu. You have one player towards A, it's Angel. You have 3 players towards C. You got that opening pick. You know that the Vipers come and stabilize it. You just threaten the cross with the smoke. Why go in alone?
Yeah.
Maybe it sets up this kill from Angel, and maybe then Sugetsu's able to get another kill out front B. Maybe that death made this round happen. Let's just say that. Let's just be happy with that.
I feel like you're having a melt. Yeah, a couple of those questions could be brought forward here, and you kind of hope that the coach checks in on that, maybe kind of tightening things up here, because a chance given, Navi will take. You can't leave them with these opportunities. Did hear the Blade Storm come out, so that's going to be over towards the A side. And CNED's hands, of course. And Navi this time will get early rubble control. Nice bit of chip damage on Angel there. Straight through the wall. What do you do off the back of this, though? Because, again, you can't openly read into anything. And Exardus, again, gives them that entry. Do we see a drift up from CNED? Is he considering walking back in? This time it's confirmed attendance, at least that Navi are here. They have shot a couple of times. The spike's still yet to move. It's actually Yedajay. I don't know how the hell he got that one. I have to see that one back. Maybe just...
Oh, they opened the door
did he actually open
and
it?
Took the duel. Yeah, it had to have been.
Okay.
It wasn't a wall shot.
Yeah. And CNED has shifted forward. It's actually Mr. Fallen who gets the shot too, so they may not know about CNED on this. Angel should have probably shouldered that, so he's got at least the information, but they've lost out on that man advantage now at a 4v3. Zipan still has that ult to play here, though. They do feel like they have a chance, so you can see that FUT so far aren't really playing close by
30
to this.
seconds left.
I think the rotation is going to come from Yedajay opening the door and throwing the hat onto Artist's dead body, just to get the information of where these guys are going to go once they set up in this post plant when they have C site, because they have the breach ultimate. As soon as the Cypher scan happens, they're going to open the door, they're going to use the breach ulti.
Oh, wow. Wait,
What
CNED?
is...
Where was that? Was that...
It was
again,
a waterfall.
If either he was over the top of waterfall or he just caught someone maybe walking up towards site, I'm not certain, but CNED again, just 2 HP. He's trying, but time.
Enemy
What
remaining.
is happening?
I don't know what just happened that round. That was a really bizarre round. It's not just me, right?
That was like a Navi 2015 CS round.
Navi-esque timing. Start
Well,
moving at 30 seconds.
And then run out of time
Yeah.
for no reason.
Okay, so that was the that was
was the
one we
first.
thought. Right, okay. Cool. This is what I was waiting on. Where did he get this
Someone's
kill?
walk pushing in.
Oh,
Well,
Angel pushed up on that?
Enemy remaining.
you sound surprised.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yep.
It's like you haven't been listening to anything I said the entire last map.
Because sometimes I hope for better, Josh.
Okay.
You know, I'm
The
praying
optimist,
for
the
better
pessimist,
days.
yeah.
That's it. Like,
We-
you know. Here we are, 4-3. Can they find consistency in this, though? I'm trying to bring it back, man. Even I'm losing my mind. But the trip's been dealt with. CNED, you're brave to re-peek that. Maybe a little unnecessary to go back in, as Navi were really staking their claim towards this early control on Rubble. And Yedajay goes for it as well. Stop feeding the beast. They're going to happily greet this with a smile. Not sure what the plan was. They had the pit down towards C. They had safety in that. Maybe a little unnecessary, and now it all falls onto the shoulders of Mr. Fallen and Cracks.
You know, I think your optimism's rubbing off on me a little bit. I'm finally starting to see it from both teams, because CNED's doing this so often this game, and Navi's been doing it as well. They're consistent. They are consistent. They're consistently inconsistent.
I'm sorry, I've driven you absolutely mental. Angel has cleared Cracks, so things going from bad to worse here. This then kind of pendulum swings into the hands more about a captain, but you got 5 against you, and they're about to get a plant down. Artist going to shift up a little closer, does give them a step, but you can already see the damage coming in. Unconfirmed, yes, but it's just not going to work out. Angel taking
On the
a walk
hunt.
around. Yeah, he's going to hear at least some of this as well, and that's going to be a player move. Not sure if he noted Mr. Fallen, but he seems very heads up about it. Mr. Fallen may not even be able to keep this rifle.
Cover going out.
What are your thoughts? Do we get to see Hunter's Fury this half from Angel?
Why are you doing this to me? You know when, like, you know, the Reddit threads start and they're like, oh, still so negative. He's even making Pansy negative. Yeah, well, just finally able to say how I feel, you know?
I wouldn't be so negative. You didn't always, you know...
Right. Ask you honest questions or... Oh, you...
Yeah, Fnatic, are we allowed to say the G word?
I don't even know what G word you know.
Glazing?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, you can.
Okay.
You can.
You can. It's been done.
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think I've had to cast Fnatic for a minute because they've stopped doing deep runs at tournaments.
Ooh, that's always that's always...
It's almost like Fnatic just win a lot, or at least used to. And I used to cast a lot of the finals games. It's weird. DLR in absolute shambles. Can't understand it. I put them there. It's crazy.
So much bias.
I used to hate watching Fnatic too. I'm kidding.
And now you love to watch them because they're losing, or what?
Yeah, I love an underdog. I can't help myself. Anyway,
Okay.
CNED, let's see what you've got this time. That was a tag, I think, on Yedajay. Oh, no, it was Cracks, excuse me. So he's going to have to walk away. A little worse for wear.
Here.
Still an early scramble of a fight.
Well, you use the Hunter's Fury.
Yep. Does that make you feel better now?
A little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, at least it was used. Because he's had it, again, for a few rounds. And I think that's one of the things that NAVI could work on is their ultimate usage.
Yeah. I mean,
using them off cooldown, like, why sit on them for multiple rounds?
It does feel as though we kind of see certain teams really do well at it and kind of excel in that instance, and you can see the validity in the idea, and others kind of maybe wait for the perfect moment that may not always present itself.
Yeah. I
For
think
now,
Heretics and KC
Yes.
are perfect examples of that.
I'm in complete agreement. It was Heretics that always comes to mind when you know you kind of talk about it, but KC, yeah, absolutely in the same category. But now it's going to be a side take coming in, and the lesser weapons actually succeeding so far, and Mr. Fallen just going to be pacing around the site here, looking for a follow-up. He might get it. No, outdone in the end, but you can see the ults coming through from either side. Yedajay with a chance. The information, though, going to make it trickier to find any sort of freebie.
Planted.
Sugetsu and Zipan, you imagine they'll play this together.
One enemy
Oh
remaining.
my god, okay. A 1v1? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's fine. Sugetsu's there. 5 for NAVI. I don't even know if that deserved the golf clap, crowd. You guys are kinder than we are, but that was a dangerous moment, really. I don't know how it got down to being that dangerous, even in that 2v1.
Just watching you kind of like watch that round, like you're kind of like sniffing spoiled milk or something, your body like fully recoiling. Like, what is going on there? But again, yeah, I mean, it is this, the discipline issue. It comes down to these really fine margins where players are slowly repositioning. They're not together. They don't know where to expect these players to come from, and it gets really close.
Trying to make an early play towards middle, but no real opportunity to swing off the back of it. So again, we kind of go back to what we know here, which is Na'Vi taking this rubble space.
Don't overextend.
But we love to do that. We did that every single time. And actually, do they re-peek it? They actually got the shot on Xiao that time. Still. Do you remember they gave Xiao 2 kills from that doorway?
Shadows traveling.
Maybe not opting for it here. It is going to be Yedajay sitting deeper this time. Maybe just waiting to see if anyone's daring to push through it. That still has his util, so he could force him off these angles. Yeah, going to make him fall away. Oh, this is going to take the space that he's given him. CNED wants to come back in towards the side here. Yedajay on the fight as well. Nice face together there. Playing in unison and actually giving Na'Vi very few options. This is difficult for Na'Vi. Positions all very much seen, no real threats towards A. This is very, very tough. Even spotting out where Xiao's currently residing, maybe that door's going to apply a little bit more pressure towards him. CNED's caught Zipan trying to lean a little further forward, and now the captain should be aware of the chance. He is. FUT much better in that round.
That was an Andalusia flawless from these guys as well. It was just FUT just one step ahead, but I have to just like point it out again. I don't mean to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, please give me any excuse not to do this. But the pressure early on towards B, right? FUT realizes, hey, like we've pushed this off. We know it's just this one player, it's Sugetsu. We broke the trip. We're gonna rotate towards where the next noise is, which is A. And guess who's walking into our screen?
Yeah. Your favorite?
My favorite.
No. And I think that's the fact here, is that it's a little bit hard to kind of pin them down. And it comes back to a touch of the Heretics game as well, that it was very hard to see what they were trying to achieve. Obviously, it was a much starker contrast to this scoreline, but still, let's see what they've got here. Right back towards Rubble. And it looks quite all in, really. It doesn't seem like there's much subtlety to this. They might be fully aware now that they do have pretty much just one on the side, which is Mr. Fallen here. Pressure, yes, from the CT side of things, and Mr. Fallen does need to show his hand. And Artis? I don't know if there was maybe a miscomm on that or just simply tunnel visioned in, but he gets found. That could have been what felt like a 5v4, but actually still success. Zipan lands a shot, Cracks though going to take towards the site. Does go down in the end, but the counter swing comes out from Ada Captain. A little out of kilter, but it works nonetheless. And now a 2v2. Ada Captain creeping closer, a tap on the spike, Ada Captain! He's got another as well. Beautifully played by him in the end. Yeah, the J fell in the meantime. But FUT get the lead up to 6. See if they can keep that in towards the half.
The only thing that makes sense to me there in that round with Artis being in that position is that he thought his teammates came through tree when they opened the door, but that Viper wall up maybe made them pause and not come through. There was some sort of communication issue. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Because Ada Captain, he's in that tree room like every round, basically. Yeah. There's someone in there for a FUT every single round.
Operator back out now. Up against a broken buy, no real ults. I mean, they could maybe strive to get Zipans or Artises, but it's not going to be an easy one. Maybe Zipans is a little bit easier than anything, but still.
Cena needs to break the drone. If Angel uses the drone here, needs to break it to set the other J up. That smoke coming in is going to allow him. Oh, he's see when this comes in, you can see the Aldrome being waited on.
Not ready too. Here comes the smokes. Very choreographed hit. Yeah, the J's been very much caught in this one. Artis trying to find his man. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine! As long as he gets the kill in the end, it's fine. It may not be fine. Cena's on the site. Now suddenly it's all going topsy-turvy. Held at the door.
Oh no.
Denied entry. Doesn't need to overdo things here. The plant certainly not going down anytime soon. NAVI need other options, and maybe Sugetsu can give them that. But with only a Sheriff, it's not going to be easy. With this pause, it might allow that consideration to come into place for FUT as well, that they could pivot elsewhere.
I think they should just use like a dart on A, let Sugetsu tell them where the rotations are happening.
Left.
Where are they going for?
Are
they worried someone's still on A, maybe?
Plant the spike.
Yeah, they're playing at the corner of the site, which is going to allow them to peek it from a lobby.
Now we've got to see what that lurk does here, right? Sugetsu, how much does he get to hear? Yeah, okay. There's the info.
At least 2, maybe 3.
Yep. He's going to try and match that timing, or, you know, try and slip behind them potentially. Catch him on the way. Yeah.
They're way too aware of heaven, though.
Yeah, they're also very aware of this lurk now, spotting it out, but they got to get a move on. Still need to deal with the players on the side, and Zipan does have that Guardian. That's the big factor here. Lovely shot, the first big trade. Completely unaware of the fact that Mr. Fallen could even be here. Does drift out into the eyes of Sugetsu, but a tap on the spike should draw the attention. Zened takes out Sugetsu and finishes with a flourish, keeping FUT up towards 7, and NAVI held on 5 at the half.
He's back.
That's all it took. 7-5 though. Do you think that's a fair scoreline for what we've seen, or do you think too close, too one-sided? Do you think that's a fair assessment of the quality we've seen from both sides?
I think it's fair. I think FUT has probably shown a little bit higher degree of play this game so far, and I think that's reflected in the scoreline. They're just ahead by a couple of rounds. Yep. Navi's not playing horribly, but they could be playing way better. They need to tighten up a lot of these rounds where it comes to discipline issues.
Okay. Side swap.
Side swap.
Attack now for FUT. NAVI on the defending. Ooh dear. Let's see. Maybe trickier. Maybe to... I don't know. You know what? Wait and see. I'm happy to wait and see. Oh god. Well, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare, isn't it?
Just solo on A, just runs up with the Sheriff alone.
And I'm such an apologist constantly for Ardis as well. Like, you know, after, I think he was on Ascent, you know, the clip he got against, like, DRX, the guy is a god. When he hits that form, he is unbloody believable. But man, sometimes it's rough.
It just makes you think, like, what are the instances happening in practice where he's like running up there, not getting punished, and just getting kills?
Yeah, what's allowed him to think that was a genuine possibility? Like, genuinely, is there like utility that's meant to go alongside that? Is there meant to be support that wasn't there? You know, what set that in motion? But here we go. Yeah, this okay. That just forces CNED forward.
Okay.
And he's fine, and there's no one to close down on any of that utility. Okay, we've got a Paranoia, and that's coupled with Zipan, the last bit of kit that they've got here, and somehow they managed to stay alive, but fully blind. They come out of it! They just couldn't land the shots in time. It's all going from bad to worse, and to get to, you got to face the music. Stand and fight and fall. FUT win the first and the second. Scoreline getting steps away now from NAVI.
I think this is where FUT's going to start running away with the game. It's going to be like a 13-6, maybe 7 type of thing. Because I think like having both the pistols, having a string of 4 rounds in a row, I think this is going to be doing really well for their whole like mental. They're a momentum-based team. They won the first map. They can see the end of the tunnel. They can see the victory right there. Whereas NAVI, they need to win a few rounds just to bring it back to, you know, to tie up this map. Then they have to win this map and take it to a third.
Yeah, you feel like you're kind of in the mud, right? It's a real slog of an affair to kind of bring this back through, but a couple of good rounds could alleviate that. Going for a bit of a gamble this time, it looks like NAVI. Let's FUT wait patiently, holding pretty much a default.
Camera taken out.
All info. Here. But not particularly telling at this point at all. This could be Zipan and Ardis on one side. Yeah, he's just not getting any play here, is he? Zipan quickly cleared, and that's yeah, gateway open.
But I mean, he could get play, but he's just forcing these situations, right?
Yeah. Don't be mean to Ardis, I'll fight you. You can have Angel, but not Ardis, alright? For now though, FUT just, yeah, step by step, it's just, it's so individual, isn't it? And Mr. Falling on for the ace here. Might as well give it a go if he fancies, as we get to. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They're trying to play it in, they're trying to let him have it. Oh, he gets to slip away even further. Mr. Falling trying to chase him down.
30 seconds left.
So get to. Oh, he even denied it in the end. He actually took 2 with him, which is wild, but still. You're right, FUT taking steps now. This is, you know, it's starting to get scary and more uphill.
Well, it's like a perfect indicator of like the whole like vibe situation, the momentum situation, that the fact that they're running away from the last player to allow the ace to happen. Like, you don't do that when you're just like, oh man, this is a really intense game. You're doing that when you're feeling like confident enough that we could go for these types of like lazy things and still come out on top. So they must be feeling really good in that FUT camp.
Are you a member of the FUT camp?
We're talking about people not getting any play. We're talking about the FUT camp. Not sure what's going on right now.
Look, is it after the watershed? I don't even know. It's like 9:30. Probably have to behave for another half an hour or so. Right, bring it back into... I was going to say bring it back into tow, but that feels a little too on the nose, doesn't it? For now, though, we do see a lighter investment, obviously, from FUT here, up against the rifles coming out from NAVI. And that's going to be Sugetsu with the challenge. He's in a whole lot of trouble, is that man? Blinded, but somehow not punished. They seem aware that he could be here, but we've got to see if they can close it down in time, because Zipan's already chipping away at a captain. Good pick up there from Cracks. Swings it, and now it's looking likely like the plant is on the cards. See, they're already watching towards that heaven side in case anyone tries to get proactive and drop down ahead, but no challenges as of yet. Ardis is a mile away.
I'm not sure what Navi's doing right now. They've wasted Dart, they've wasted Aftershock, they've wasted a Flash.
Yeah, I wish I could answer. I wish I could answer you, but there's 2 rifles, one with CNED and one with Mr. Fallen. Yeah, there's a Bulldog, and there's still that Outlaw, but yeah, FUT holding the line perfectly. Mr. Fallen will be forced off this, might die for it. Yeah, he does. Nice first clear, but CNED still holding safe. Making sure that cross can't happen, and look at these crossfires. It's a very hard angle to find any way out of, and they don't. FUT shut down the account. It's double digits now, 10 to their name. And I want to make excuses for NAVI, but again, this is running out of steam for them here.
I got it. We got to get him antihistamines, right? Hear me out.
God.
They
What have they
have
done?
allergies. Whenever they have to play together and use teamwork, they just start breaking out, right? They have all
They
these
get
issues.
hives.
They get
Got it.
hives.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to breathe, itchy eyes, watery eye. I don't know, just like
This-
everything happening, right?
This sounds like the Zaiwu like weather in France thing. All right, we're not
Air
there
quality.
yet. We're not there
Okay.
yet. We're not going that deep down. Do you know what? I'll throw it out there. I wonder if Navi are already trying to mostly prep for that. You know, the meta changes coming in. That maybe these games, hey, they're brutal. We get to basically face the top of the board, right? You get FUT, you get Heretics. And maybe they're already looking towards that Neon, that ISO. Like, yeah, I'm trying, man.
I
I'm
don't know
trying.
what day they play next week, but that day that they play, if they're running this jet comp again,
Don't do it tonight.
I'm gonna bring this back up.
Okay, well, we could put a little add something. Feels like it's starting to capitulate, fall to pieces in this one. Held on 5 here with the perfect start coming out from FUT in the second half.
Here.
It hasn't felt that threatening yet. But away we go. FUT. Glancing, showing presence towards Mound early on, but still holding this default, maybe expecting some aggression, and it's just light work for Yedajay. And that's Zipan found and removed within a blink of an eye.
I just wonder if every first kill has happened this half towards A main in the favor of FUT.
Yeah. I mean, God, that does remind me of the first kind of blood stats that were coming out of that Heretics game, where I don't think Navi, I think they got like 2 first kills.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they had 4 over the series and
Yeah.
3 round wins or something, yeah.
And it's not looking like 6 is going to be happening here, but again, can they do damage? I do think it's hard to kind of say, because I know, you know, we talk bigger picture, silver linings. You kind of talk about, you know, doing economic damage, you know, building up ults, all the additional stuff. But when you've got 10 rounds against you, you've been held on 5. You kind of just need a round, if I'm honest, boys. There's not much more to it. Obviously, they'd get it if they could, but for now, FUT moving in force
30 seconds
straight over towards the A side. They've been beaten to the punch. Angel is here. Sugetsu and Ardis, and that's a shot.
Oh, missed
Finding
smoke.
exactly a little bit of a gap there to play from. Shock dart. What does that achieve? A little bit of chip, but not enough to really deny anything. Cracks can retake the angle, spots the barrel, and he's taken out Angel.
One enemy
Ardis
remaining.
goes down, leaving just Sugetsu in a 1v3. Can he do anything? Picks up a rifle. Jump spots, but so paranoid about all the other angles. We can see where they all are. It is 3 in a line, and it's 11 for FUT. Step by step here, Josh, they're getting so close to that 12.
They have that Breach Rolling Thunder as well to help achieve that goal. Bladestorm on CNET if they need to use it, but they might just save that for a rainy day. Mr. Fallen with his ultimate as well could get some information, especially if they're able to isolate where Sugetsu is. He's usually been not this entire series, but this map, he's kind of been alone a lot of the times. If they can find out where he is using the Omen TP, maybe they can just like run at him, target him with a Breach Rolling Thunder, and just overload that site.
It's kind of now or never. And Ardis stands and commits. Does get out of there. Had a chance of drawing blood then. It was only for a moment's time, but it looks like they're
But once
dying
they
to
go into it, yeah, they got Rolling Thunder, why not?
What does Ardis do with it now? He's stuck on the site here. He should be dead to rights, and he is.
Yep.
CNET clears him in a heartbeat, and the C site is theirs. Zipan doesn't have his ult. He's one off from it, but he can't do much to deny this plant here.
Spike planted.
A couple of shots, hoping that it finds a target, and it's
I
not.
know exactly where you are.
All on top. It's all seen. It might all be done. 12 beckoning. These 4 NAVI players better be on their money. And they're not so far. Angel's gone down. It's down to 3 here. Chow looking to step forward through those smokes. Try and find a way in, at least close towards the spike. But there's just an army waiting on the other side. A firing squad. Locked and loaded. Zipan Sugetsu. You did some good damage. You got your ult, I guess. But still, this round's done. And that's going to be 12 for FUT. Josh, this one's looking done, mate.
It's tough. If you're Navi right now, you don't really have those options because that's another round where
Match point.
you lose that first kill. It's almost like they don't know how to read what's going on. Like individually, I don't know what the overall game plan is, but individually they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. And they're getting caught out, and they're trying to force fights that they don't need to force. And right there, start of the round, he knows that they have a Rolling Thunder. He knows that he's missed his shot and they've found out where he is. But instead of getting out of the site, he stays there. But his next closest teammate is Waterfall, cannot assist.
Dewar's just like grinning ear to ear right now. Watching the scenes, but right back in, no resistance. Paranoia good. CNED doesn't find the initial target he was after, but he finds a follow-up on towards Angel. And he's got a shorty waiting.
Oh, God.
Does he get
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's just feeling the game. They're just confident now. Just trying to snowball this one out. Challenge to get to. This is a lot to ask. They're held here. FUT working back through. The smoke goes up. Gonna make it difficult. They're respected or not. There we go. Spike's gone. It's back in hand. Yeah, they get the info, but FUT's on the run. CNED waiting. It's yet a J to connect. It's looking all but over. It's looking done, and it is. Just styling on him at the end.
Was that supposed to be a fight?
That felt a